Is it starting?
Had to make it kind of official, even though it's a live show. So, welcome everyone to a different kind of Watch It Played episode, right?
Slightly different.
Yeah, we're doing a live learning of a game and then playthrough of it as well. My name is Rodney Smith, and this is
Pat McDonald, and we're here to teach Lost Patrol.
Very well done.
I looked over at the name.
I know you did. Lost Patrol, which is a game for 2 players. It's coming from Games Workshop. It actually was originally released a few years back, and this is a sort of a new version of it.
Yeah, and you could play with more players, but they'd have to kind of sit around and watch.
Right, I suppose. It's for 2 players only. Okay, so what we're going to do is take you to the table and teach you how to play the game and kind of teach as we play a little bit. Because after going through the first round, we should be able to cover a majority of the rules. I do want to say one thing up front, though. I think to sort of set the expectation level here. Because this game, I normally don't do this with games, talking about how difficult they are or aren't. But in this one, the player playing as the Scouts, the Space Marine Scouts, definitely has the odds stacked against them. And my feeling, I think you'll see this as we play, is the Scout player is not meant to win. If you win, it is sort of like an achievement for the ages. There's a stack of tiles that you'll see we'll be going through. I like to think of how far can I get down the stack is really how I measure my success in a game I play against the Genestealer team.
So you're going to be the Scouts then?
I guess so. Well, we'll do it back and forth.
Yeah, we'll play 2.
We'll play 2, and we'll see how we each fare with it. But let's go to the table here, and I'll walk you quickly through the rules. And again, if there's any questions that come up, I'll try to look at the comments maybe a little bit later into the video. But for now, I'm going to be pretty focused on just teaching the game itself. So we'll switch the camera view here. So hopefully you can see the setup. I should mention the miniatures that come in the game come unassembled. So these I put together. They come with a lot of extras as well, so that if you want to put different heads on, there's like more heads than are required for the number of bodies and different packs and stuff. So
Could you put 2 heads on one guy?
You could do that. It would not affect your stats at all. You should know. These are all sort of different looking, but there is one character who's carrying the big gun. He's the heavy, and there's also the leader here, and I've got him holding the chain sword. So when you set up, it's very simple. There's going to be one tile that has paths going. It's called the clearing tile. It has paths going off to each edge. You'll notice here this stack of tiles. Sometimes it's just a path like this. It might split off in 3 directions in some cases. But otherwise, you have the clearing here. You also have this drop ship that you're trying to go to.
We'll edit that out.
Okay, we can't. It's live. I will mention the idea, the theme of this game is that the Space Marine Scouts have landed on Moraz 2. No.
Well, they meant to, but they ended up on Moraz 3.
Right, which is a shame, because Moraz 2 is like a nice vacation planet. It's nice. There's saunas everywhere. There's nice swimming pools. The plant life is beautiful. Moraz 3, unfortunately, is filled with ferocious Genestealers, and the plant
life's trying to kill us.
Yes, exactly. So that's not great. But the dropship that we're trying to get to is here. And this dropship is placed on the bottom of the rest of the tiles, which you shuffle together and place on top, like so. So we're ultimately trying to get to this bottom stack and reveal it. And the other player has all of these Genestealers and infestation tokens that will come out. You start the game with all of the Scouts on the clearing tile, like so. This is the only tile where you can have all 5 of them on at once. Normally the limit is 3 figures per tile. So to continue with the setup now, Pep, as the Genestealer, will declare an edge where the path leads off from here, and will then draw a tile from the top of the stack and place it. So before he draws and looks at it, he has to declare a point, and then he flips, and he can arrange it as he wants. So this one can be flipped in one of 2 different ways, right?
Go this way.
Okay, great. And then Pep will continue going like that around the stack. So the line of sight for the Scouts are into the next adjacent space, unless it's a straightaway like this one is, in which case then they can see all the way down the path, and then you'll have to reveal another one. Now you can choose to continue going this way or reveal this one next. It's up to you, Pep. Right?
Go this way first.
Okay.
Ooh.
And oh, this is great. So this one here is Tangleweed. Now one thing I do want to mention is you cannot place a tile in such a way that it would block a path. And we don't have an example of that. Maybe one will come up like that. But in the event that you would have to block a path, then you have to place it so you block the least amount of paths possible. So this one actually leads off in 2 ways. There are some tiles that have this extra thorny what they call tangleweed, and there's also some purple plants. The rest, but it's part of I mentioned it because it is actually part of the tangleweed.
Yeah.
But the other tiles, you'll see lots of different artwork on them, but the artwork doesn't necessarily represent anything. Mainly it's the paths. But tangleweed will have an effect on gameplay, which is bad for me.
Yeah, you can make something up, but it needs to be thematic. I'll go back here now.
Okay. All right, so we got another curvature. And again, Pep has the option. You can curve it one way or the other. And continuing around. Oh, some more tangleweed. So this one, for example, you wouldn't be able to curve the path. There's a slight path here into this tile because it would block it. But you could put it there. If there had already been a tile here, then Pep would have to block that potentially off, and that would be okay.
Over here.
All right.
Oh, this is going to be
interesting.
bad.
So now we've got paths going this way and this way. Last tile. All right. What's it going to be? Oh, this is good for me. It's a straightaway. I love straightaways because it means more tiles get drawn, and so it pseudo makes me feel like I'm getting farther through the stack.
Yeah.
So this straightaway means another one will be drawn off.
Plus, if this ends up turning, it's going to be perfect. We have a nice little symbol, a nice little shape.
That's true.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay. So one thing I'm going to do is just actually go look at the comments for a section, make sure that we're actually getting audio through. It looks like they are. So that's good. Glad to hear the audio is coming through. And yes, I should mention these are unpainted, as you've likely noticed. But thankfully, the scouts come in red and the Genestealers come in blue. If the ferociousness of them wasn't enough to distinguish them from the scouts themselves.
You sure these aren't purple?
You're right. They're kind of like a purpley, dark blue-ish.
I can't get over how sharp these are.
The claws are super sharp. Don't step on them.
Definitely keep these away from small children.
Yes. Don't swallow the pieces. Okay, so after placing, this is really the setup still happening here. So the setup is done. Oh, the game also comes with the 3 green dice that you see here. For the
We're going to use some slightly bigger ones.
We're not going to use that big dice. We're going to use slightly bigger, but not ridiculously big. So that'll make it a little easier for you guys to see. This is the setup. Setup's done now. Although this placement will continue throughout. Now we're starting the rounds of the game, which starts with the scouts taking action. So each of the scouts can take up to 2 actions, and the actions are to move or to fire. But you can do them in either order. You can do the same one twice, but you fully resolve one scout before moving on to another one. And you don't have to use all of the actions if you don't want to. Let me think about what I'm going to do here. This is all terrible already. I will go up here. I'm going to send this guy up twice. I should mention as well, you have to walk along the paths. Hopefully that's clear. And you also cannot leave the tiles that are already revealed. So for example, even though I have 2 movement, I couldn't go 1 and try to reveal one here. I'd have to stop on this space if I wanted to. I'll move this guy here, my heavy. I'm going to have the leader run up to the front as well. And I think I'll have one more guy come up here, and I'm going to leave one alone in the back because he's got a knife on him, and that might make him, which does nothing. But I want to pretend that makes him a little safer. It doesn't. Okay, so that's the end of the scout actions. Now is it place or remove? I think you remove first. Let me double check here.
Yes, we would do the remove,
yes.
but
So now you would remove unseen tiles. So as I advance through the jungle is actually like changing and terraforming
closing in around.
Right.
Yeah.
So you pretend that all of your scouts could move up. If they could move up to 2 spaces, what could they see? And if there's tiles they could not see being able to move 2 spaces, then those tiles will just disappear.
Yeah.
That may sound a little complicated. It's actually quite easy to do. So for example, these guys up here can move at most 2 spaces in this direction. What can they see? They can see everything here. But this guy as well can see everything from the center, so nothing's going to change here. We'll see better examples of that a little later. Then, after that, you add tiles. Okay? So, Pep will look and see if there's anything I can see. I can see off of this tile here, so we'll add.
Ooh, another split.
Another split.
And
here. And over here, right.
And another split. Wow.
Okay. That's the end of placement. I want to mention one quick rule here as well. When removing tiles, if you would ever... Say my Marines started going off into 2 very different directions. And then, because of how far apart they got away, the jungle got split in half. So there was a big gap between them. Then I'm forced to pick one half of the jungle, and the other half of the jungle just disappears. Which means all those scouts on it die as well. Yeah. So you kind of want to not get too far apart from each other.
And something else important, anytime the tiles go, the Genestealers that are on those tiles will also be gone.
Right, exactly, exactly. So I'm going to turn things over to you now because now it's Pep's turn. He gets 3 actions as the Genestealer. And there's 3 different actions. One is placing a Genestealer. And so placing a single Genestealer, you have to place on the extremities of paths. So this he could place here, 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 here. He couldn't place on these 2 ends because they're actually dead ends, right? They run into another tile into a dead end, so he couldn't place there.
Yeah, so thematically the Genestealers have to be coming from somewhere.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So he could spend 3 actions just dropping 3 Genestealers in different end spots. Another option is if you already have Genestealers on the board, then you could spend one of your actions to drop an infestation. Do you want to pull out one of those infestations just so we can see it a little better? These allow Genestealers to spawn from other locations. So let's just, for example, say that on a turn, Pep was here. He could spawn an infestation onto this location. Now he could actually, in future turns, spend actions, or even on that turn, if he still had actions left, to spawn Genestealers into this space. So he doesn't have to spawn them from back here. Okay, so we'll take that one off. The other thing that you can do as an action is to move. So when you want to move Genestealers, you pick a grouping of them, and then you can either move 1 space if you move all 3 of them. You can pick 3 of them from 1 space to move 1 space, like so. And I know I'm not going on the paths here.
Yeah.
Just we're out of room here a little bit. Actually, I'll just put them here if you don't mind. So I can move all 3 1 space. I could move 2 of them 2 spaces. In this case, I have 1 space. I'll mention why I'm kind of getting blocked up here. You can't enter spaces with other types of units. Okay, so if this guy wasn't here, then you could move 2 spaces. Or you could move 1 Genestealer 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, like so.
And this is an important, it'll come up later in combat.
Yes, we'll talk about that in the combat. I think I know what you're talking about or thinking about there. So when you do your movement, you pick a location, you move as many as you want to from that location, but the number you pick will dictate how far they can go. 1 Genestealer can go 3, 2 can go 2, or all 3 can move 1. They all have to go to the same location. So if you were moving 2 spaces, you couldn't send 1 off in one direction or 1 off in another. Those would really be 2 separate actions.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully that's clear. And
so I'm just spending my 3 actions, 1, 2, 3, placing all 3 right there. So after this lone scout they left.
Right, because now after you've taken your actions, it's sort of the assault step. Anytime that Genestealers would be adjacent, directly adjacent to Marines, then an attack will happen. And that adjacency doesn't have to just be on a path.
Yeah, so if I had them...
I don't know if we have a good example of this. Well,
right here.
Sarah, if you put them here, we can see obviously the path leads into this space, so they're adjacent. But these guys can attack through the trees. So there's not technically a path into here, but you could attack these guys if you wanted to.
Yeah.
All right? So unfortunately, I can't do that. I can't attack through the trees, but the Genestealers can.
Those leaves are bulletproof.
Apparently so. But not claw-proof.
Not claw-proof.
Those claws are sharp.
They're really sharp.
They're really sharp. So the attack here is very simple. Basically, you have to determine the assault value. Or combat value. Pep, in your case, you get 2 for each of your Genestealers, so that's a total of 6.
Yep.
So on 1 die, I have to roll, and ideally, I want to roll higher than that.
Yes.
But I can't. It's a 6-sided die. I only roll 1 die, always in these cases. Even if I had like multiple guys here, I would still only roll 1 die. And because I'm alone, there's actually a penalty.
Yes, you lose 1.
-1. So...
But some of the units provide different bonuses.
They do, yes.
Like this heavy, for example, the heavy infantry, he will provide a +1 to anything that he can see.
Exactly.
But not to himself.
Not to his, right. So if his space was being attacked, then he would not be able to use this benefit. But if he can see the space being attacked, then he gets a +1. So I'm -1, but I'm +1. Also, the leader always gets a +1 for the space he's in. But that won't affect me here. He's too far away. So I'm going to actually, if I can roll a 6, I'll at least tie. And that's better than rolling less than the value. So let's roll and see what's going to happen. Where do I want to roll here? Maybe I'll move these like so, and I'll roll into the space. Okay. Okay, so that's a 3. So if I get less than the value, I die. So just to give you a sense of how lethal this game is, I needed a 6 just to even tie.
Oh, yeah.
If I had tied, I don't die, but I get driven back. That means Pep can move me to a legal adjacent space, and then he moves into the space.
Yeah, and it's important that I get to pick where you move.
You get to pick.
And if you have multiple people, I have the choice of splitting them if I want, or pushing them in the same direction.
Into legal spaces. But remember, you can only have at most 3 units on a space. Let's say the only legal spot I could have moved to was here, and this was full of my guys, then this guy would have died as well.
Yep.
Right? So that's not good for me. That's the end of the assault.
It's the end of the assault.
So now we're back to the start of the round again. Let me just quickly look at my notes here just to make sure I didn't miss any particular rules, because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything there. Oh, I do want to mention, once the drop ship tile is out, then you will not remove any more tiles for the rest of the game, even if you get far enough away that there would be a distance amount. So that is helpful. I think.
I'm not sure if you mentioned it is possible for like an infinite loop or a finite loop to be closed. So if at some point you actually have no paths you can leave from, the Genestealers also
instantly win.
Yeah, because the jungle closed in around you.
Right, exactly. There was one thing I wanted to mention with the infestations. These things are pretty vulnerable. All I have to do is move into a space and they immediately die. Of course, if you had a Genestealer in here, I couldn't move in. But if it's empty and I move into it, this dies right away.
But it's important to note that you can't shoot them.
No, you cannot shoot them. That's exactly. Have to move in with them. Let me just quickly look at the comments here, make sure there's no obvious questions that maybe we just missed along the way, and then we'll continue with our playthrough. And I do want to mention, again, this is a reprint of a game that was previously released. So if you've played the game before, you may be like, this seems different than before. It is different than before, as far as I understand. I think... No, Marty, this is not Star Wars Rebellion. You are correct.
It's pretty close, though.
Okay, I think I don't see anything on here where people are maybe saying that there's problems or issues. The game does, I want to mention, the game comes with 3 dice. I don't think you'll ever use them. At most, you'd ever use 2 dice at a time.
2, yeah.
From what we've seen.
We've tried really hard to figure out what that 3rd dice is for.
I think that's in case you have Pep playing with you, because then you're likely to lose at least 1 or 2. Okay, so it's back to me. I have actions I can take. I cannot attack the Genestealers here because I can't see them. My line of sight here is sort of straight adjacent and then straight paths beyond that. So these guys can see all the way down to this tile here, but they can't see around the corner. I think I will move these guys to here, and somewhat foolishly, I'm going to move these guys to here.
Yes, I see why.
You see why I'm doing this, right?
Oh, yeah.
I kind of would prefer to have these guys here so that the heavy can support this group with his +1 when there's an assault. But if I go here, now when we get to the removing tile space, which we're on now, if these guys could move 2 spaces, 1, 2, then at most I could see down here, but I can't see this grouping. So these guys disappear, and so does this. And these tiles are discarded. They're removed. Genestealers that die, they just go back into the pool. So you can get them back again. Whereas my guys, when they die, they're dead.
Gone.
they're dead.
So now I need to reveal tiles for the new spots. We'll start with this. Ooh, just
right into a dead end. So that's no good.
Here?
Oh, straight away. So we might just need to move things down a little bit. Let me just check on screen here so we can see a little better. I'm going to shift the whole thing down. I'll tell you right now, it's very unlikely I'll be heading anywhere down there. Boop. Okay, we got a curvature. And then we have 2 spaces to reveal over here as well. Boop. I can see why you'd want to curve the path into this direction, right? So there are some choices here the Genestealer has to make when placing them. Oh, we got another straightaway. This is good and bad because it's going to tempt me in some regards.
Oh, no, that's not a dead end.
No. I'm going to be tempted to run in these directions, but then as these guys get split up, I could have the whole map split and then lose guys. So that's not great for me. So now, after the movement, and we've had the removal and the addition, Pep has 3 actions.
Ooh, it's a bit more difficult this time.
And thankfully, he can't spawn here because it's a dead end. But he could spawn here.
Yeah, I think I will. 1, 2, and I'm going to do something interesting, I think.
Everything you do is interesting to me, Pep.
Thank you.
Yes.
At least this guy here.
Okay. So now we will resolve assaults. There's only 1 group that's adjacent, so it's going to happen here. So again, each Genestealer has a strength of 2, so this is 4. And thankfully, I'm not alone here, so I'm not getting a -1. I just need to roll at least a 4.
At least a 4.
But if I can get a 5, I'm going to be very happy. Because if I didn't really say what happens. If I roll a higher amount, then 1 Genestealer dies.
Just the 1.
Just the 1. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's a 6. Even better. Not that the 6 does anything more, but
that's exciting.
It is a death. And that ends the round again, right? So we just repeat the round cycle again. I'm going to have. I do want to advance things a little bit here. I'm going to fire with my heavy, and I'm going to be really relying on a bit of luck here. The heavy, when it attacks, I guess we haven't really talked about.
Yeah, it's our first attack.
It's the first time where I'm doing attack. So normally when you attack, again, you have to be able to see the location you're attacking, and these guys can certainly see this one.
Yep.
A regular dude just rolls 1 die, and what do I have to roll to hit?
6.
What about a 5?
No, 5 is nothing.
That's a miss? What about a 4?
No, it's still a miss.
3?
No, miss.
2?
Miss.
1?
1's hit as well.
No, it's not. It's a miss. So I have to roll a 6 to actually hit anything. The heavy, though, he can lay down heavier fire. I get to roll 2 dice for him. What do I hit on with him?
A 6. And only a 6.
What? Yeah, that's how tough this is. So I'm going to use my heavy first because I'm hoping the odds are with me to maybe be able to kill that guy. All right. 5 and a 1. No, you do not add them together. So I have to roll a 6.
Good thinking.
I'm rolling again. 3 and a 2.
So the heavy's stuck there now.
He is stuck there. I maybe shouldn't have done that. Oh no! I don't want to leave him alone. I kind of. Okay. I'm gonna have the gentleman here. He's gonna roll. Okay.
Wait, we haven't named any of these guys.
I know. It's important to you. Oh, it's a total miss. Come on.
You gonna try again?
Oh wow. Okay, so those guys are stuck there. These guys are gonna advance. I'm gonna move him up 1. And he's going to attack.
Using his sword.
And I'm going to move up 1. And I'm going to attack. Okay. So that was a lot of dice rolled and no 6s.
These are very brave scouts. Normally the plan is to shoot, and then if you don't kill them, retreat. You ran forward and then shot.
Yeah. Because the only chance I really have is to continue to advance through 2 locations that will reveal new tiles. I mean, arguably I maybe could have run this way or something.
So now we get to do a cleanup.
Yes. And right now, these guys could move to here. So all that's viewable. All this is viewable. So nothing's going to disappear, right?
Everything's good.
Okay. So, Pep.
No new tiles come out because you're not on any edges.
So you have actions to take here.
All right. I can take 3 actions.
I'm in so much trouble.
I'm going to make this simple.
So much trouble.
Just pop 1 in here.
At least I feel like I'm being consistent. My viewers expect me to roll poorly, and I'm certainly doing that.
Pop 1 in here. And I guess I better just make it bad for you.
That's super bad. Where do you want to start?
Let's do this one.
Okay.
Harder.
So I need a 6.
You need a 6?
Right? A 6 just to survive and not lose anybody.
Yep.
Did we talk about what happens if I lose? I know in that case, well, I guess we did before. We had a guy die already. If there's 2 guys on the space and 1 would die, I do get to choose which one dies.
Technically, I pick which Genestealer too that dies. Not that it matters.
No, it doesn't. I rolled a 4. I would like to kill the regular unit, not the heavy. So he's dead. Shall we resolve combat over here?
Let's do it.
Okay, so I have to roll at least a 4 to tie, except I get a +1 here from my leader. So let's
need a 3.
see. A 6! Blah. So 1 is dead. And now we restart again.
Goodbye, Squigglebottom.
This time, Squigglebottom?
Squigglebottom.
You're going to name all your Genestealers?
I'm naming all of them.
Excellent. So he's going to go 1, 2. Again, just a quick reminder about Tangleweed in case you forgot. Not that we've been on any, but in order to move with Tangleweed, you first roll a die. Did we actually talk about the Tangleweed?
No.
I don't think we did.
No, I don't think we did.
So if you're on Tangleweed, which is this stuff here, and you try to leave, then you roll a die. I think that's Tangleweed.
No, that one's not.
That one's not. It's like the start of
it's
the
all
Tangleweed
gone.
sprout. Do we have some Tangleweed?
Yeah, it was down there.
So this is Tangleweed here. Okay? And if you were on a space with Tangleweed and you wanted to leave it, I would first, this doesn't affect you, by the way, I would first have to roll a die.
My claws are too sharp.
No,
I can just go right through the weeds.
Again. And I would need a 4, 5, or 6 to leave the space. You can enter it fine, but to leave it, you need 4, 5, or 6, or you basically wasted the action. You're stuck there. I do want to mention one other quick rule as well. When we're doing that check to see if we can see like what parts of the jungle the scouts can see.
Yeah.
I ignore Genestealers that might be in the way. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to move this here. Okay. So technically, although I cannot move through you, when checking to see, we pretend I could move through you, and I go 1, 2. Okay, I can still see all down here.
I like to think of it as the jungle doesn't want you to know that it's changing, so it has to be quiet about it. So it has to wait until you're out of earshot.
And it's, ooh, change. I put on a new outfit. What's funny is if I was to somehow come back through here after it disappears, it would be a totally different jungle.
Be different,
right?
Yeah.
Also, when I'm driven back during a failed attack, Tangleweed is ignored. So if I was on Tangleweed, you could push me out. It wouldn't matter.
Yep.
Okay, I think I've done some things here where I moved him, and now it's time for other stuff. I'm going to have an attack happen here. I'm going to try to kill this guy. Because if I could kill this guy, one of these guys could move in. I could start to expose some more of the jungle here. Good question. Let's move this down a little bit again, if you don't mind. Help me here. Keep things somewhat in place. Okay. Just to keep things on screen. And who's going to attack? Well, the commander's going to lead the charge, of course. So
Commander Roderick?
Sure. Rodvidicus probably is a little more.
Rodvidicus, okay, yeah.
So there's a miss. We'll have him attack again. And a miss. So now his Lieutenant Paprika will attack. So you're going to kill your own guy.
You're a monster.
No, so that's a fail. Remember, I need a 6 to kill things.
Okay. So
we would remove things.
We would remove things.
Nothing to be removed, right?
1, 2. No, everything's good.
And then we place things. Nothing to place.
Nothing to place.
I'm really stalling out here.
Not much happening here, yeah.
No.
So I can move the Genestealer's different amounts based on the thing, as you said.
Based on how many you use.
So if I wanted to move 3, I can only move them 1.
Right.
So instead, I'm going to choose to move 2.
Okay.
That way they can go 1, 2.
Right.
This guy's just going to be left behind, poor fellow.
Yep. So that was one action, was a movement.
Quick question.
Certainly.
This never came up before. Could I move the Genestealers twice as 2 different actions? Like, could it go 1 action, 2 action?
Grab me the rule book. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh.
Do you mean like now that you've moved them again?
Yeah.
For example, the same grouping?
I know I can't attack again with the same group because that's just the end of it.
The move action can be used to move 1 Genestealer up to 3 spaces or 2. Genestealers do not follow paths when they move. They can move from one adjoining tile to another. That's important to note as well. Movement, you don't have to follow the paths. Not only can you attack through stuff, you can move through stuff. When a group of 2 or more is moved, all the Genestealers must start on the same tile, and they must all finish on the same tile. We covered that. It doesn't say that they can't, so I can't say that you can't.
It's a good question to ask. I think I'm going to just invade in a little deeper here anyway. All right.
Okay, so they've dumped in. Yeah, and anyone joining us here at the game, I see Leon is helpfully giving some answers here. The game is not available yet, but will be available soon. Some of the marketing is starting to filter out for it. This is an early copy that I received, and I just felt like this is a game we can teach very quickly and play.
Oh, yeah.
Given that we're both traveling to the Cool Mini or Not Expo, we're leaving tonight, really, on the start of our trip. So this is something we could easily teach quickly. All right, so now we have adjacencies here, right? So there's going to be some assaults. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with this one. I want to get rid of that guy.
Right, because as long as he's here, he can help these guys, right?
Yep.
So I need to roll at least a 4 to survive.
But you only have 1. You only have 1
Oh,
guy.
so it's a minus.
Yeah.
You have a minus, right?
So you have to roll a 5.
Oh, no. No, the heavy's gone.
We didn't even name that guy.
He's nameless. All right, next attack will be here.
Let's do it.
So also, I want to mention one other quick thing. If you succeed in an assault, let's say, for example, I didn't have a guy here, and this guy hadn't attacked yet, right? And we started here, and you attacked. You successfully drove us back, and we ended up here. Now these guys could attack. Do you know what I mean? So you could potentially drive someone back into another group that you weren't adjacent to before, and now you are, and boom, that can resolve.
But they can't attack again.
Right. If something's attacked already, right, you can't repeat again.
Another important thing, when I killed the last guy, I also moved the Genestealers in.
Thank you for mentioning that. Right. When you kill, you drive in. So
you're pretty close to what I would call doomed, I think, at this point.
At this point, how long can I keep them alive? Valiantly keep them alive. So I'm going to roll here. It's a 6. A successful 6. Keep in mind that 6 just kills one thing. That's it. Yep, that's it. So I'm still surrounded on all sides. I'm definitely doomed at this point. There's no getting around that.
So let's do the check. Oh no, that's after you move, right?
So now I get my actions. I'm going to kill things.
Well, you'll try.
I'll try. So I'm going to try to attack into this space with my with Rodvidicus, I think it was. That's a miss. Again, I need a 6. That's a miss. Now Paprika will try, and miss. Obviously, nothing will get removed. Actually, that's not true. Something will get removed, because at most I can move to here, and that means I can see down here, but I can't see, and I can see this, but I can't see any of these. So those get discarded.
Oh, Theodore.
Right. And now it's time to place. It's time to place, and it's time for you to take your actions.
Well, this one's pretty easy. I'll just put 1 here. Oh, I can't put 1 here, though. because that's not...
right, but you could put an infestation there.
I could.
So you could spawn stuff later.
But instead, I will use an action to place this guy.
Okay.
And then I'll spend his movement, or spend an action to move.
Okay, right. Just jump those guys in there. Well, time for an assault. Where would you like to start, Pep?
Let's go on this side.
Right. So, again, a 6 would allow me to actually win the fight because I'm getting a +1 from my leader. Anything less than that is not great. So one guy dies.
The guy dies.
Boom. And
it's important to note that that +1, as well as the extra die that the heavy roll, are not rolled during that assault part whenever I'm attacking. They don't help you in any way.
the extra dice you mean that I roll normally during a fight, you mean? Or?
Ignore me. I had those in reverse.
Good.
Yeah.
Ignore Pep.
Ignore me.
So we're going to resolve this effect here?
Yeah.
This attack? All right, so super dead. So looking at what's left in the pile here, because again, this is the only sort of small mercy that the scout really gets here is how far down the stack do I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've definitely done better. Yeah. I think the best I've done is to get it down to 7 remaining. But let's set up again and we'll have you run through it.
Yeah, and so the thing I was talking about before, I'll just do a quick mention of it. What I mean is he gets a +1 during the assault, but he doesn't get a +1 when attacking. Right,
to my roll when I'm trying to get that 6.
Yeah,
I just
don't. Yeah, it doesn't help. And same with the heavy. The heavy's kind of in reverse, where the heavy needs to he gets the 2 dice whenever he's attacking, but he doesn't roll 2 dice.
Yeah. He's being attacked. So we'll shuffle everything up. We need to find the center tile, which might still already be here. No, there it is. There it is. So everything else can go together. Pep, do you mind doing that? And I'll just quickly check the comments here.
Love
this is a great time actually for everyone. If you do have any questions you want to ask specifically about the game that I might be able to answer, then I'll try to do that now while Pep sets up. Let's go back over here to the other camera shot as well.
Oh.
I'm hoping probably since the game is, I think people would agree that the rule sets is not complex here. There probably aren't too many questions on that. So Skull Hunter, I think you probably got your answer already on when you reveal more tiles. The format of a round is the scout player takes their actions. You remove tiles that can't be seen from up to 2 spaces away if scouts were able to move freely. Then you add tiles that the scouts could see, now based on where they are. Then the Genestealer does their 3 actions, and then you resolve assaults. And someone said here, co-op games are the best, and someone said this isn't a co-op. It's funny though, because on some level, I've said this in commentary.
Well, we're working together to kill you.
That's exactly what it feels like. Co-op games are meant to be exceedingly difficult. A lot of times when you have a 2-player game, you want the game to be balanced so that each team is a fair shot at winning, right? And this game plays almost like a co-op because clearly the scout player is not meant to have a fair shot at winning in comparison to the Genestealer player. This one, I think, though, I think the intention is you get that sense of satisfaction from winning as the scout player, if that is even at all possible, because it's so difficult. And I have heard it is possible, but it definitely is going to involve both good decisions on how you use your guys and also a little bit of good fortune in the dice. Which, I don't have.
I do.
We'll see how Pep fares. And so people wondering how you win, because you know what, to be fair, in all of this, I don't think I said exactly how you win.
The dropship.
You have to reveal the dropship. You have to get on the ship, and then get to the end of the round.
Yeah, you have to survive till the end of the round. And
the Genestealer can always spawn on top of the dropship no matter where it is, even if it's not like at the end of a path. Like if somehow it just dropped in like amongst some other tiles. So think about this. I reveal it. I can't move on to it that turn, right? Because I move and then you reveal it. Then I have to get on, and presumably you're going to spawn 3 guys onto it. I'd have to somehow kill all of them and then get in there.
And then get in. Yeah.
Very difficult.
Probably want the heavy alive for that.
You'd need the heavy alive. You'd want the main guy alive as well. Your heavy and your head boss guy. So I do own Space Hulk, Kabuki Kid. Actually, we have a full playthrough of it as well, full instructional and playthrough, and probably one of the most thematic games that we played in terms of like the the storyline that we infused into that. We had all kinds of like a little bit of voice acting, some narrative going on there.
I think my voice is in there.
I think your voice is in there as one of the characters, Pep. Yeah, so definitely I would go to our channel, do a little search in there for Space Hulk. We have a playlist. It will show you the instructionals and all the gameplay if you'd be interested in checking it out.
All right. Everything's set up and ready.
Other person, you're wondering, what's the average length of the game? We're about to play it again. You can see. I'd say it runs 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, if even
that. Like sometimes it can end very quickly.
Because we could probably play it quicker.
Yes.
Less thinking.
Okay. All right, here we go. So I'll switch back over to make sure everyone can see. And here we go. You shuffled, and the drop is on the bottom.
It should be.
Okay, it is. He's not cheating. All right, so I have to reveal for Pep. I'm going to start at the top and kind of go around like a clock. And then if there's any straight edges, I'll do those again, starting at the top and going around, just so I don't have to point each time. So flipping, and I'll put this one here. Flipping, I'll put this one like so. Oh, we've got a few splits right off the top here, Pep.
That's good.
And I like the way you've organized my Genestealers here. Here, I'll put them a little bit farther away, like so. We've got one
breeding ball
here, and we've got one straight away.
Finally.
So only one straight away, and I'll put it like so. All right, Pep. So now you have 2 actions for each of your Space Marine scouts. Remember, again, you have to resolve each scout one at a time. And they can do up to 2 actions, which can involve moving and attacking. Moving 1 space is 1 action, attacking is 1 action.
Now, see, it's difficult.
Tell me about it.
Because I want to go just on the furthest path and get further along. But if I go on a split path, it means
and potentially opening up more straights too, right? So I can see your dilemma here.
I am going to move forward just the captain.
Yeah. He's a sergeant, technically.
But Sergeant?
Yeah.
Sergeant Pepper.
I'm just remembering that now. Okay.
Sergeant Pepper.
Yes.
And Corporal Klinger.
Okay.
Some
Corporal Klingon. He's always with him.
And I don't know. I got this weird feeling about this one pass. So I'm going to send Corporal Butterknuckle out that way. And the rest are just going to stay behind.
I thought you might, because you want him to support. You don't want to leave him alone, because he's very vulnerable.
And this way, he's supporting 2 different directions, too.
Ooh. You're right. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've removed things. There's nothing to remove, because these guys can see everything in place, even though they moved up to 2 spaces. Now we'll reveal. I'll start here and go around, okay? So I'm going to put this one. I'll do this so that maybe I can create a little bit of a potential loop here. We'll see. Going here. Yes. I also like the idea of maybe not making it easier for these guys to join up. So if I turn it this way, it's sort of sending these guys in this direction if you pursue that way, right?
Yep.
So I flip again. Oh, we've got a straight. And I'm really sending you away potentially here. And tangleweed on this side. If you
everywhere.
want. Yeah, everywhere. So we got another straight, and it'll go here. Is that still on the screen? Yes, it is. We'll move things as necessary. But Pep, having placed, it's now time for me to take some actions here, right?
Yep.
Well, let me think. I'd like to. I think I'm going to drop 3 guys here. These guys all come with different heads as well. I think there was 6, maybe even more than 6, close to 8 unique heads. Like this one's got kind of a Cthulhu-looking like octopus face.
Yeah.
This one's just got like the standard tongue. The back arms, there's like a whole bunch of different arms. Like this guy's got blades. This one I put all like 4 hands on, so you can mix and match as you want. And the way the arms go into the sockets are fully rotatable, so I could put them in the angles I wanted.
Got them all like with their arms twisted backwards.
Yeah. So I'm going to put 3 of them on here and just try to at least eliminate one of your scouts right off the bat here.
All right, so I'm alone, unfortunately, which means I have a -1, but I do have support, which means I have +1. So I just need to roll a 6.
Yes. And look at that. Is it on screen? It is on screen. It's a 6.
Yes.
Now that means it's a tie, though, right? I have 6. You've got 6.
Right.
So you are driven back. And I can choose the direction you move in. It would have to be illegal, though. So you're actually, in a way, this is kind of good for you because you're advancing along this path in some respects. And then I move in like so. That'll be the end of my combat. And you survived. I think your guy survived longer than my first scout. Right?
Yeah.
I think I had a dead guy almost right away.
Go, Sergeant Butterknuckles.
Okay, so that ends the assaults. And now we go back to you taking actions, right?
They call him Sergeant Butterknuckles because he has a bad habit of dropping his gun.
Well, you go ahead. I'm going to take one quick look here, make sure I'm not missing anything here in the assault step.
I feel like I kind of just want to gun all these guys down.
Yeah. Just wanted to confirm that if the Genestealers win, they do move into the space along with killing a person, and they do. Yeah.
Perfect. Let's get started. I'm just going to have my heavy fire into this group.
Yeah. You need a 6. 5 + 1.
5 + 1 is 6. All right, I'm going to try again with the heavy.
4 + 2 is 6, but that also doesn't count. So
I was rolling off screen too.
Yeah, he's firing blanks. Oh, so those were both misses, everyone.
Well, this guy has nothing to do other than shoot, so he'll shoot a couple times.
Yes, maybe roll in this area here. That will get into the. That's a 1. And another one. Snake eyes.
Dropped his gun again.
Okay, so now what?
Yeah, this is difficult.
This is tricky because, I mean, you could run this way, but you have to get through Tangleweed. So you'll be pushing your luck to try to get to that edge. But do you have a choice, really? If you can get to the edge, you reveal 2 new spaces.
I think what I need to do is...
Oh, you still have him as well, don't you?
I can't move him.
No, he's done.
Twice. So I'm going to go 1, 2.
Avoid the Tangleweed.
1, 2.
Okay, that's good. That's clever.
And this guy is going to stay with...
yeah, and shoot?
And shoot, yeah. He'll take a couple shots again.
All right, right here again. There it is.
There's 1.
So there's a 6. So one of the Genestealers dies.
We call this guy Hawkeye.
Okay, let's see how he does. All right, well, 1 good shot. That's still pretty good. So now it's time for me to take away things, if any would be taken away. Let me just double check. It looks like everything's still in view.
Yep.
Up to 2 spaces
I
away.
agree.
So now we'll reveal both here and here. I'll start on this space first. Oh, you've got another split. And then here. This is a curve, and I'm going to be mean. I'm going to try to curve you into the tiles we already have. So now what? Time to assault, right? All right, for me to take my actions. I'm going to bring in some guys, and I think I can no longer spawn into this space because it's not an end anymore. So it's between trying to kill this guy off or dropping here and trying to kill one of these guys off, knowing that you are going to get a bonus on this one, but you won't on the other one. You know what I'll do? I'll drop 2 in here, and no, you know what? I'm actually going to drop all 3 in here.
Ooh.
I'm just going to try to eliminate this guy and prevent you from opening up new avenues over there. So we'll have the assault. We'll start here, so that if I succeed, I can just have these guys focus on them.
Perfect.
So, sorry, your roll. Yeah, go for it.
So
He's getting a -1.
Yeah.
So you need it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Actually, at all. No, yeah, because I'm at 6 there already. Go ahead and roll. He's dead.
Goodbye, Butter.
And he moves in. And then these guys will assault here. Now this time, it's going to be 4 would be my strength. So you'd like to see a 4 at the very least.
And remember, my heavy doesn't give a bonus on his own
not
tile.
in this case.
So I just need to roll a 4 or higher.
Yeah. Oh, it's a 6. Very nice. And that means that one of them is going to die, but one will remain, and that will end the assault step. So I'm just going to come over here and check the comments. Sometimes we make little mistakes. I want to make sure we're not seeing any mistakes.
I don't know whether I want to rely on luck here.
No, Nathan, you do not reveal. When you get pushed, you reveal during the reveal step, basically. So that's always fixed.
No, I am going to rely on luck here a little bit. So I am going to... Actually going to do this kind of in reverse. I'm going to move my heavy.
Yeah.
I guess I could fire first. All right, my heavy's going to take a shot first.
I think he's only going to be able to move 1, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So heavy's attacking.
Yes. Yeah. Let's have a hit here.
Yes.
Well, there is a 6. You hit everything on the board as well.
Perfect.
Okay, so this guy's dead. And parting shot, and then he runs.
My heavy will run off. Yep. It's looking bad for me.
It is looking bad for you.
So then we'll move these 2 here.
All right.
Then we'll move this guy, Hawkeye, here. There's only one I haven't named yet.
Had you considered running one of them down here?
I thought about it.
Yeah, it's risky, right? We would allow you to reveal another tile, but then you're splitting up into 3 groups. Okay, so that's the end of your Pep's turn there with the Genestealers. That's the end of Pep.
That's the end of Pep. Not
So
yet.
if I count 2, 1, 2, I can see here, I can see here, or sorry, you could see there, but then this would go away. Yes?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So this will go and be discarded.
Yeah, I meant to get rid of that one.
If we go boom, boom, you can still see down there. So everything else I think stays on.
Should have moved more.
Right.
Oh, well.
Yes, if you'd gone far enough away, you could have maybe gotten rid of those guys, right?
Mm.
Okay, I can now reveal some tiles for you. Let's see what we've got. There's only one space, right? Right here?
Right there.
This could really hurt you if it goes into a dead end.
I need it to be a 3-way split, basically. But you can't do that.
I cannot block the path if there's a legal way to place it. So I have to give Pep an out there.
Perfect.
Now I will reveal some guys. I'm going to put 3 of them right here, because this is the end of a path. And I will attack.
This is ideal for me, because
In a lot of ways.
you're attacking my captain,
+1.
Sergeant Pepper.
Yes.
You are attacking with the heavy.
He can see the space that's being attacked. It's another +1.
Yeah.
So you have a chance here.
So I only need to roll 4.
Right.
But higher would be good.
Higher would be better. So, unfortunately. And again, when there's a choice, the scout gets to choose which of the figures is removed.
I'll choose Ralph.
Okay.
Red shirt Ralph.
Red shirt Ralph is dead. So now we go to your turns,
My turns.
because that was the end of the assault.
Well, that looks kind of dangerous over there.
Yes, Matthew, luck is a fickle mistress, indeed. Or mister.
Or mister.
Talking about, I just mentioned the miniatures themselves. Mentioning the comments, basically. This is a hard plastic, and the detail on them is phenomenal. No surprise there for Games Workshop.
I think I might just hope for some crazy luck.
Okay. You think they're coming in and trying to like just mow them down? If you're heavy.
Am I heavy?
If you roll 2 6s, man, right here. Okay.
No 6.
No 6s.
All right. I guess my captain will attack once.
All right. And twice.
And again.
It's not looking good now.
It's not looking good at all. This guy will come in here.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll attack once. And he'll attack again.
He came in, right?
Oh, he came in, yeah.
So that's the end of that. All right, I would reveal tiles for you if there was some to reveal. Oh, I have to remove first, though, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
So 1, 2, and I guess that's going to remove a couple of things.
Yeah.
It's going to remove this.
I can't see over here either.
Right, those go, and it's going to remove this.
Yep.
And I think that's it, right? So I'll take these guys back into the pile. These are removed, and now I can take 3 actions. Let me see. I will jump in 2 here, and then I'll use an action to move. Like so.
Oh, dirty.
Yeah, very dirty. I'll have these guys attack first.
All right. So I have a +1 for my captain.
Right.
So I really just need to roll.
It's 5, but a 6 would be better. Because then you could actually...
No, I need 3.
Oh, sorry, because these guys are attacking first. I apologize.
Yeah.
You're right, yeah. Oh, there's a 4, so it's a 4 + 1. You actually kill one of these guys. Hang in there a little bit longer, Pep, and then we'll resolve this assault as well. So you're getting a +1 against 6.
So I need a 5, but I want a 6.
Yeah. Oh, I'm afraid something's dying here.
Goodbye, Hawkeye.
All right. So now you get to take your actions. I have a feeling I know what you're going to be doing. Because again, you cannot move through spaces that have figures.
I'll try to mow him down with my heavy.
Unless they're your own figures. I saw that 6 there for half a second.
I guess I'll try to mow him down again with the heavy.
Nope.
Fire with my captain.
And who are you attacking?
Oh, it's the same.
This guy.
Oh, yeah.
Afraid not.
I guess I attack again, although it's pretty fruitless at that point. Yeah.
Okay, so now we would take away things. There's nothing to take away. We would place things. There's nothing to place, and we'll have a. Oh, and I can take my action. So I will drop 2 in here and have them move in.
Yeah, same thing.
Right. So this way, at least now there's 3 in a group. This should end things, Pep. Can
I
you
think so.
valiantly hang in there? Where do you want to resolve the? I guess I'll resolve this one first.
Sounds good.
So that is going to be the death, the heavy, and we'll resolve this. Will this end it? And it's a -1 +1.
-1 +1.
-1 for being alone, +1 for being a sergeant.
Little do they know, I'm actually dead either way.
You need a 6. Oh, yes, right. Because even in a tie, you'd be driven out, and there's nowhere for you to go but into these guys, and you would lose. So
I got trapped really fast in that one.
It is called Lost Patrol, and I think they do give you a warning because it says death in the jungle, right? Lots and lots of death and carnage in the jungle. So we'll switch things back over here to the headshot, and that should give you hopefully a very good sense of how Lost Patrol works. And we didn't count up how many tiles you got through.
I think less.
I had 13 before, right? That's 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I got a little farther. I think partly by splitting up the party helped a little bit as well.
Yeah, arguably I could have easily gone and...
Yeah, you might have been able to get a few more out here. But yeah, the Genestealers will find you quick. And of course, all of these miniatures here can be used in the Warhammer games as well. I think a lot of the board games that they're now selling and releasing, it's almost in some ways like a miniature delivery system as well.
Yeah.
Like if you're into the Warhammer 40K games, then this is a way to get miniatures for your game, plus have a whole other game. Right? Along with tiles and things that you could use in this game or other things as well. And of course the dice that come with it as well. Again, this game is not out yet, but will be out in the near future. I think in June-ish. June-ish or so. But I'll turn things over to you guys. If you have any questions, we'll just look quickly here and answer your questions, and then we'll sign off and let you get on with your days. But thank you for joining us for a live playthrough and learning. A little bit weird doing this without having a script. I made some notes for myself, but not having the full script and being able to edit.
No script anywhere.
A little unsettling. Yeah, in Space Hulk, if I remember correctly, you hit on 5s and 6s. I could see a variant. I could see some house variants potentially where people, have 5s and 6s work as hits.
I'm not even convinced that would make the difference.
It might allow you to survive a little longer. Yeah, it definitely would, right?
Longer.
but to actually make it to the end, I don't know. It seems like it'd be very difficult. So I think I don't think there's going to be too many questions here. I think we probably did hopefully a good job of covering that. So we'll let you guys go. We have to get ready for our Cool Me or Not adventure. If you'd like, follow Watch It Played on Twitter or at BoardPep as well, and we'll be tweeting and periscoping and everything you can imagine there. It depends, of course, on when you're watching this. If it's months later, then we'll have already done it. And
they can still go and
please go to Twitter.
Go back into our Twitter and, and look through.
Go back several months and see what you find. But I think we'll leave it here. Until the next episode, everyone.
Thanks for watching.